La Lanterna, a spotlight in Italian football, is a podcast that dives into the beautiful game seen from the eyes of two fans from the oldest team in Italy's point of view. My name is Fabrizio Cardone, Canadian and Genovese, together with my friend Matt Killen, an American-born and Genoa fan. Every week, we'll tell you all you need to know about the only team you need to know about, Genoa CFC. Plus, we'll have guests and provide updates from around the magical world of Italian football. And after a long break of vacation, mostly mine, but also a little bit you, I'm supposing, welcome to La Lanterna podcast, Matt.
Fabry, are you still on island time? What's going on? Is it
Well,
you're back in Curacao?
yeah.
What's it like?
So indeed, I did go to the Caribbean. It was great. I was thinking about you with one margarita after another, but it was very, very nice. Reminded me of actually the nice waters in Sardinia. Very nice, clear. And the temperature of the water is a little bit different, Caribbean versus Sardinia, but except for that, it's a beautiful.
Yeah, the pictures looked amazing. I was jealous. We were in the burbs for a lot of the fourth and stuff like that, which was still fun. You know, grilling in the backyard is definitely a summer pastime, even if we were just watching other people do it. But looked like an amazing trip, and now we've got at least a little bit of Genoa to talk about. Maybe kind of a slow news pod, but still some things since we last were on air.
Well, yes. What happened since? The market hasn't really picked up. A lot of newspapers are actually talking about, oh, it's going to be detrimental, it's a problem, and so on. But even if you look at the other teams, there's not really much happening out there.
Yeah.
Most of the deals are going to happen towards the end, unfortunately, because, well, that's another topic altogether. The actual calendar, Serie A calendar, has come out. So what do you see from the calendar? Or before we go to the calendar, should we talk about our friendlies? It's up to you.
Well, we can talk. I think we can probably lean in with the calendar and what's there. I mean, so the first, what is it now? 5 matches. So we open against Fiorentina.
At home.
At home. That's right. Mentioned in a podcast we were just on, kind of the Giardino Derby with him playing for both of the clubs and the rumor of Fiorentina grabbing him as manager and whatever. So sort of an interesting and fun first match against Fiorentina. We then travel to Lazio and also Torino. We'll welcome Napoli in the 4th match week of the season, and we'll then be again away to Lecce, which is pretty decent distance within our first 5 games. I think like when you go down the line, you know, the next 5 coming up, you see Roma, Udinese, Milan, Atalanta, Salernitana. It's not exactly like the smoothest of sailing for the first couple of months of the season. I think you can be two minds of it, as I know you've mentioned before. I am a little worried about the way that the lineups have, or the schedules have sort of stacked for us. And I do think the Lecce match that maybe Genoa fans are thinking we should compete more for this one. Possibly is it a little bit more challenging with the travel? I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. We have to travel there anyway. We have to play Lecce away from home, which is how it works. But I think it's going to be a challenging first start to this season. I think that's what it looks like. I do think the schedule opens up later, and we have some periods where we're not really maybe as in much danger or threat. But these first couple months are going to be a real test of what we have as a team. I think that's for sure.
Well, to your point, it is difficult. At the same time, I'm of that mentality with respect to the fact that sooner or later you're going to have to meet them. Right. It's true. If you meet them right at the beginning, the hopes are going to go lower because you're going to be in a certain level in the standings. But it is a long season. This year, we're not going to have the Christmas break and the New Year's break. So that's a good thing with respect to that. We're not going to stop at all, other than for the 3-4 international breaks. So there's going to be less of the midweek matches, but nevertheless, it's going to be a long season, and I think we have to get our hat back into the Serie A and face everyone with the same style of Genoa. Like, everyone is up for grabs, and even if it is Napoli, even if it is Lazio or whatnot, it's we are there to play that match and not be the ones, getting the match against them. I don't know how to say it. Like, we're not waiting for them. We are going to face them.
Exactly. No, we need to take the match to them. I think that's kind of how we have to line up. And I think we've both said this in a couple of cases leading up to the season. But look, the optimism is, if we can defensively hold ourselves in a decent shape, can we nick a couple of points? Can we maybe get lucky with a couple of matches? I don't think it's exactly going to be our game plan, but for some of these big clubs, it might be. And so it'll be interesting. But you're right. Like, we're going to have to play the big clubs no matter what. I do generally side with Genoa that feel maybe the beginning was a bit harsh. I kind of understand that.
But let's backtrack 1 second. It's harsh, yes. One, we're a little bit intimidated after the 1 year in the Serie Cadetta, so the Serie B, but also the market is not ready yet. So if we're thinking about what the team is,
of course, we don't know
today,
if
we think about our team as today, it is going to look difficult because we don't have that strength and up front. To your point, we did confirm and added actually our Aaron Martin, from Spaniard from Mainz from the Bundesliga as our left back. Yep. And so that's a good indication of strengthening already a good department that we had, especially from last year. But the market is still open there. There's a lot of rumors. You have to really skim through what is real, what is not. One that I want to put a remark there is Zanoli from Napoli is one that can be real, especially if there is possibilities based on what they are. I can't remember what their player that they're waiting for that is going to open up for the loan of Zanoli over to Genoa. And the other one is Rete Gui, which is the Argentinian double passport Italian striker. And if we can get these two together, that gives a very wonder attack formation type of thing.
Retegui is, I think this guy is all of a sudden a dream signing. I mean, this would be crazy if we were able to pull that off. I mean, both of those players are really talented, actually. But, this was the guy, was it the under 20 World Cup where he shined? I can't remember where really people started seeing him, but there was a ton of buzz around this guy in the summer, or I guess maybe in the early summer, probably more like late spring when all that stuff was going on. And I think you're going to see a lot of eyes, of course, on Genoa if we do manage to get him, because he's one of those players that you would suppose probably a big club is going to come sniffing for. You would think he's going to be pushing for that, that striker position in the national team for real. Not too long from now. If we can offer him that playing time and that stability, and to learn from a national team player himself, those are pluses that seem logical to me. But I think that would be an amazing get if we're able to make that happen.
So all I can say,
who knows how real it is, right? 2 point.
It's a rumor right now. Keep fingers crossed. Eyes are out there. Let's wait and see. I mean, I don't want to put any hopes on anyone that is listening that is hoping for it, but there's a lot of rumors with other names, which I'm not going to even bring. Like, they even talked about Scamacca at some point, and they talked about other. It's like you really have to. I have started to learn to read in between the lines of who is saying what and when and where. I only mentioned these two because they are another one. Who was it again? Piątek is obviously another one.
Yeah, Piątek.
So the odds are, in the event that Retegui is not going to happen, they're going to jump totally on Piątek, which is still giving him an opportunity in Serie A, as we have had him like a few years ago now. But going back, so the market is still open. We still don't know. It was understood that at the retreat, we were not going to have a final starting the roster for next year. Anyways, a lot of youth went there as well, and those are all players that are going to be looked at and evaluated not only for to keep, but also to understand if they are worth it still to be loaned out or sold. Even Massimo Coda is at the retreat, but rumors have it that he is going to be departing us, whether it's on the Parma side or on the Palermo side. At least there's 3 or 4 different teams that are actually chasing him. But again, these are rumors again. We'll wait. We have to wait and see.
Lots of rumors. Yeah, we'll see. I think we are collectively agreed upon, and it's great that we got Aaron Martin in the left back position, because that was one where we've kind of circled and said, obviously we're losing Mimo. We had Pajac, but he's coming back from injury. We had Haps, but he's going back to Venezia. What are we doing about left back? I think we have our answer with Aaron Martin, and now it's kind of like, where are these other moments in time? And obviously from the forward perspective, we have some guys who are departing. So we've heard about Coda and what could happen there. Puskás, I don't think is coming back to us. And so there's another player in that position.
Puskás.
Puskás. Is that news? Or is he staying still?
He's staying. I think we had the obligation of a buyback based on the fact of promotion, but we managed to get it at a cheaper rate because his club owner got relegated themselves, so we got it at a cheaper price. Instead of 4 million, I think it was 1.8. But yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So never mind about Puskás. But regardless, I think we know we need to strengthen more at the attacking position. And so we shall
wait and see at this point. So 2 quick things I wanted to talk about with you. Essentially, we have already a lineup of friendlies that are going to lead us to the season opener against Fiorentina at the Marassi on August 19th. And these are going to be 3 matches in the retreat in Trentino. So in Moena, that's where they are right now. So these are going to be played, obviously, in these small fields. It's a small stadium with, I think, 2,000-3,000 people standing in the standings. But, these are to try different modules, try also test certain players or whatnot. So the first one is going to be against Fassa Calcio, which is a local team that won 12-0 with 2 goals by Sabelli, 4 goals by Goodmanson, an own goal by the Fassa Calcio, by De Florian Giovanni, 1 goal by Aguello, 2 goals by Yeboah, ending with 2 goals by Yalcit. To note that in the second half, Gilardino chose to have 1 player less, so they played 10 against 11. Second one after that is against WSG Tirol on Tuesday, July 18th, still at 11 a.m. That's Eastern Standard Time. And third one, still in that same stadium, is against Venezia, because I think their retreat is not too far from there. So this is the first bigger team that we're going to be facing. That's on Saturday, so the following Saturday, 22nd, again at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And after that, we have, after the retreat will end, I think it's sometime in the 25th to 22nd, I can't remember, when they end the retreat in Trentino. So they come back to Pegli in Genova, to their headquarters, the training grounds and so on. But we have another international friendly at the Marassi on July 29th. I think they confirmed the time to be at 8:30 local time. So that means it's going to be at 2:30 our time, Eastern time. So July 29th against AS Monaco.
Monaco, yeah, the big one. That one will be fun. It'll be a good little test.
Hopefully there are some more news about strikers or whatnot, but that's what it looks like, at least for the summer friendlies. Last but not least, roll of drums. We have a new kit and a new technical sponsor. I mean, that was sort of like that secret that everybody knew about, but
Yeah. No, but still, I mean, it was kind of exciting per Genoa's marketing standards. It was still a nice release video and everything. It happened for many of our listeners who already know, of course, that the Volvo Ocean Race, which is this big kind of international, like across the world sailboat race that happens this year. It happened to end in Geneva. And so they made sure to make the announcement kind of coincide with that. And you can understand why with what the design was, which I actually think is kind of clever. It's a pretty tried and true Genoa shirt, but the Rosso Blue halves have a kind of water texture in them to, I think, play off of the Rosso d'Amore lyrics and a lot of how, of course, Genoa being a club in a town such as Genova, right by the ocean, and having people living off the sea and those types of things, and gente de mare and all those types of. So
it's all connected, right?
Absolutely, and I think it's a really, really sharp shirt.
Well, yes, and to add to that, the campaign was beautifully done. The genius, the man or woman behind that, of signing on Annalisa for that song that was actually coming from the stand, so from our Gradinata Nord, and chanting the song from Elisa Bellissima against the Sampdoria, and they use that song as the main chorus for the season tickets campaign, which is beautiful. And I think it was just like brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
It was really, really well done. Absolutely.
So Kappa comes back, Castore is out the door. I'm sad in a way, happy on the same time, because I think the restrictions that they gave on the e-commerce side and them controlling everything, so it was very limited to what they were proposing and whatnot. The quality, we had up and downs for the fact of the crest being, ironed on versus the pad. We talked about that. With that?
Don't remind me. No, I know. It's the Castore thing. It feels like it's somewhat bittersweet. Like I feel like the designs of the kits last year were all actually pretty good.
Yes,
but the quality was poor. The fact that the badges weren't actual badges; they were treated like sponsors, and that there was delays, and they took away our beautiful e-commerce online site where you could buy stuff from as far back as like 2012 if they had it in stock, and replaced it with some weird generic name brand thing. And so hopefully we see all of that kind of reverse into normal with this new Kappa deal.
So Kappa is back. You are right. So the rumors have it that also this other type of line of, and casual non-Kappa type of thing should return. So I'm looking forward to that. And right now they only had the release of the first kit. They haven't talked about anything else yet.
Yeah.
So we've seen that Friendrip was on the stage presenting it together with all the other marketing director and whatnot. But that's the first one. So another good thing about people talking about, Kappa great because has great materials and so on, but that kit, damn, it's so skin tight. So they do actually have two different versions. They have the combat, which is the skin tight, and then they have the other one. I think it's called something else. I can't remember, but it's a more relaxed fit. So that should be a little bit better for us with the belly versus the players that are without the belly. And what else? Not much has happened other than these. Well, things have happened, but it's still underway, and looking forward definitely to the season. Definitely also going to have an eye on the Serie B because of Sampdoria relegation and hoping them to stay down a little bit long, but just for the fact that it's rightfully so. And we are the only representatives of Liguria in Serie A.
Yes.
But I would say we're at a short one, is there anything else that you wanted to add?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think we're obviously like waiting on news from the transfer market, seeing what's happening. We're looking at, of course, like once more materials do come online and become available and all that kind of fun geeky fandom stuff. We'll see I think there's some peeks at what the training gear looks like, just with photos from Paley not Paley, from Austria and the training that's happening right there. But I think at the moment we're kind of just waiting to see a bit more. What does this team look like for next season? And we'll start to really see, especially with these tests later on. I think the Venezia match will be an interesting one. A bit more of, are we kind of starting to get a bit closer to match fitness and match day readiness? So we shall see, I think, is kind of the sum of where we are.
Exactly. Right now. These are still friendlies. They don't count anything other than the fact of trials, and also because it's a friendly, you can do how many changes you want. So let's don't think that even if we lose 5-0 means bad things. That also means that they're trying different things.
Right.
But yeah, you're right. There's still a long way before August 19th against Fiorentina. The squad is not ready yet, and there's still, as we mentioned before, some players that still can join up until September 1st, mind you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have time.
And that means we will have had at that point 2 Serie A matches, and one shortly after that one as well.
Right.
So, express episode, but nevertheless, we have done it. So, watch us on Facebook, Instagram, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Drop us a like, drop us a comment, and you can follow us on all major broadcasters out there. And never forget, always and forever, Forza Genoa. You've listened to La Lanterna, a spotlight on Italian football, a podcast powered by Genoani Si Resta. Thank you for listening, and see you next week.